First order of business is to approve the minutes from last meeting.
Move that they be approved, Madam Chairman.
Second.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. All right, Ms. Garrett, Health Department.
Good evening. Okay, so I've brought you my February report of things we've been doing. Today is Diabetes Awareness Day, and it's Wear Blue for diabetes awareness. Some of us,
I didn't.
I didn't get the word out to you. You could have worn your blue too. 36% of our residents are showing pre-diabetes blood levels in their blood work. So diabetes just continues to grow in our community.
Why?
And well, we got some staggering statistics this week that were the full, complete statistics from 2014. We don't have 15 data yet. But in 2014, we saw smoking rates of our residents here in Rutherford go from 17% to 22%. A huge jump, which is very depressing to see that in today's time, and all the energy that all of us in the health field are working to try to. Adult obesity in our county went from 32% of us having over 30 BMI to 34% of us having over 30 BMI.
That's something I want to challenge.
What? I'm sorry?
The obesity.
Uh-huh.
Because there's a lot of medications that causes obesity, and they put that in and saying it's obesity.
Right.
And you can't get the weight off. I know
Yes.
2 people now.
Yeah, and I think there are some of those cases for sure, but we do absolutely see, just in general, regular obesity.
Right.
I agree. There are some
It should
medications.
be-
There's other, like, you know, you may be limited in your activities that you can do, and that's going to have some play into it. So there are different choices, but I think the statistics clearly showed, because they also had physical inactivity, people who say they do no activity outside of work. It was at 25%, and it went to 27% of people reporting no activity outside of work. Excessive drinking, so that is defined as someone who drinks 2 or more drinks at night, or a day, every day, or someone who drinks 4 to 5 drinks at one time in the last 30-day period from measurement. And so we became the top in that category of excessive drinking in the state of Tennessee. So we went from 9% to 14% of people
These are
reporting that
statewide
excess.
statistics.
These are Rutherford County
Rutherford
statistics, yes, sir.
And do you draw off the entire population, or are you getting this just from the pool that sees the healthcare or health department?
No, it's from the Rutherford County data, so the whole county, not just people who come into our health department. And
So
it's
doctors
actually,
report this information?
it's actually collected in different data, is collected differently. The excessive drinking, that's in the smoking, is collected through something called Breakfast. It's a national survey, and that's where they do phone calling to people and they ask them data, and then they break that up. So I actually got randomly chosen to be one of those at one point, where they call and just ask you a bunch of health questions and you answer one or the other. And they do cell phones and landlines as well, and it's a huge, I can't remember the number of participants, but they do a huge project every couple of years.
I know technology continues to improve. Are we doing a better job of just capturing the data? Do you think that's part of the fluctuation in the numbers, or do you think it's true growth?
It definitely could be, like the obesity data that's collected from insurance claims and things like that. So we can see that through a couple of different realms. More people are realizing that obesity leads to diabetes. When you have obesity, you're much more prone to diabetes, those kinds of things. So doctors are starting to use that diagnosis, you know, and say, hey, this is a problem here. We've got to address this. This has got to be focused. And so it could be a little bit of that as well. But even if we could have just stayed the same, you know, but to see those numbers going up, it's just, it's kind of heartbreaking on our
Well,
part.
apparently this is a nationwide problem because
Absolutely, sir.
my wife had Dr. Oz on just as I was getting ready, and so I was
Yes.
catching bits and pieces of it, and apparently his show today was highly focused on prediabetes
Mm-hmm.
and who is at risk and all those risk factors, and then going into, I didn't, like I said, I was in and out.
Right. Some
I just-
healthier habits
Yeah,
and things.
and so on, but I didn't get to see the whole thing, but apparently his show today was focused on pre-diabetic conditions and.
Absolutely,
and risk
absolutely,
factors.
and it is, and you know, then diabetes, you are more likely to have heart disease and more likely to have more severe heart disease. So it's just a real something that we have to focus on and work on. And you know, I always say we kind of try to attack it as a triangle. So we attack and come up with initiatives and programs at schools, at workplaces, and at faith places. You know, those are the three places where most of our residents spend some or a lot of time. And so we try to do programs teaching people, you know, if we can just change these numbers a little bit, we can change the health of our whole community pretty easily. It's just one of those things of targeting. The governor's come up with a foundation called the Governor's Health Foundation. There's little toolkits for churches to go on or faith centers to go on, and they can get the little toolkit that things they could implement at their workplace, at their church, or at their school that would help them kind of move forward and kind of address that. But I just thought we did have a couple of good statistics that came out of that report, so I'll share those too, you know, which I was proud of. The low birth weight babies. So, you know, you've heard me speak several years now about the tobacco funding and how we focused on pregnant women who were smoking. We have seen those numbers go down of pregnant women who are smoking. And in turn, we have lower birth weight babies, lower numbers of low birth weight babies being born. So that's a good statistic. We have a lower teen birth rate than we did 2 years ago. So that's good. That's a good message. And then lower sexually transmitted disease rates than we've had in about 5 years. So that's good as well. So some other positive data to
And
go
your
with.
prenatal smoking
negative.
had been on the decline. Is that in this?
Yes, that's exactly right. That's why that low birth weight, I'm pretty sure those two correlate. The less women who are smoking, the less low birth weight babies will have.
Do you want to say anything about your community events you've got listed here?
Yes, so we did quite a few patient encounters and some inspections, and we did some community events. We last time you'd asked me about the United Way Catalyst meeting. That's just a program that we do, introducing businesses in the community to healthier practices, healthy toolkits, that kind of thing. We're a part of that committee. We did a huge community baby shower. I think I talked a little bit about that with y'all last
Saw that
month.
advertisement.
Yeah, and Channel 19 did a little commercial about it for us, so they'll be showing that for us. And just giving some of our health messages for our residents to see, so I'm excited about that.
I wished Channel 3 in Laverne had picked up on it.
I'll reach out to them next time and ask them.
Okay,
Yeah, I will.
because it was not on their advertisement,
Yeah, I
but
will. I'll
it
reach
was
out
on
to them.
19,
Mm-hmm.
for me at 19.
You should reach out
And
to
y'all
someone
can
see.
get 19 right in your
Yeah.
your viewing area.
And it's Jerry Davenport with Laverne.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause they'd like to come to some of our other stuff too as well.
Or even if it's already taped by 19, if they could just
They
run
could
the same
do that.
programming.
Oh, okay.
That could work too.
Well, that's a good idea.
Because you do have a lot of people who will only watch their municipal channel.
Yes.
So it doesn't hurt for you to, it wouldn't
To
hurt for you to be
share
on
it.
both anyway, yeah.
Yeah. And I think they were going to be able to put it on our social media as well, like YouTube that we have.
There's their number,
Something that, oh, thanks. Let me read it.
615.
Any more questions for Ms. Garrett? Any questions about the
Thanks,
report?
Commissioner Cook.
Move to accept the report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
All right. Community care. Ms. Carroll, you want to talk to us about that a little bit?
What I get in it? We have hired a new director, and she will come April the 11th.
Okay.
And she lives in Murfreesboro and has a child in, I think, Blackman High School, and she's working in Manchester right now healthcare center down there. So I look forward to her coming and taking over, and her name is Terry Bodkins, Bodkins.
Okay.
So, maybe things will start running real smooth.
Good. Any questions about the community report? The complete minutes are in front of us on the iPad.
Motion to approve the report.
Second.
Alright, all in favor?
Aye.
Very good. All right. Ms. Jolly. Special projects.
Well, I've only processed one payment since the last meeting, so.
Okay.
if
Which
you-
one was that?
We pay on the 10th and the 25th, and, you know, we had such a late meeting, that's all I've done. So if there's any questions, not much has happened since the last report.
We have all had this report for a little while to review, so. Anybody have questions for Ms. Jolly?
Move to approve the report.
Very good.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. All
Thank you,
right.
Teresa.
Thank you. Mr. Sandvig, do you have anything for us today?
Ma'am.
No? No school board report? Any new business?
They bring a lot less people when they aren't asking for $43 million.
That's
I showed up, Commissioner.
All right, if there's no new business, we'll stand adjourned.
Thank you.